Welcome to episode 39. I had so much fun doing the high road with the Sin. It's such a weird way of doing this mission, but it was honestly so cathartic because I had so much trouble just doing this mission the way that they want you to do it because there's way too much heat to handle in a Corvette or gunboat. You need something like this. This is fun. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Now I've got a little ship docked on the Sin. I'm going to comm a random ship and ask where the faction rep is. Then I'm going to select the Mako. Oh no, not the Mako. I'm going to select faction rep Boron and tell that ship to dock and wait here. Oh, you know what? I'm also going to make it part of the faction reps group again because I took that out, and then tell it to dock and wait. Now I've got 3 explorers to bring over as well. There we go. Got my explorers coming through the gate. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? Well, thank goodness the fight's over. What a mess. Look at all that carnage. There's a dead Fulmar.
Proximity to other boron and consequent exposure to the pheromone clouds seems to have triggered some changes in my physiology. Oh, I was so nervous. The adrenaline will sustain me for days to come. So much to research. The time ahead will be crucial, and word of our achievements will spread throughout the network. The potential to manipulate jump gates will certainly catalyze a fundamental paradigm shift. I would not be surprised if there were more pulsar constellations out there, just waiting to be found. I fear that not everyone will use this knowledge responsibly. Through our intergalactic interspecies cooperation, we overcame insurmountable odds. And yet, that cipher, finding it now, just when we needed it, seems too much of a coincidence. Could there be someone out there? Unseen, but watching? Oh my, these are weighty propositions indeed. Perhaps we should apply ourselves to the immediate tasks in hand.
Hold on, so is Bozo suggesting that there's going to be more inactive jump gates that get activated because of this method? Because there's quite a lot of jump gates out there. Alright, I need to get a fighter with a pilot to come out here. So I've got the Perseus on the way. Now the way this is going to work is I'm going to take the Sin to do the high road mission, but the high road mission is written for small craft or medium, something that can dock with the carrier. And the Sin obviously can't dock with the carrier, but you need to dock with the carrier a couple of times to trigger progression in the mission. And that's what the fighter's for. Now, teleport to the fighter and dock in the carrier to trigger the next part of the mission, and then teleport back to the Sin to carry on. There we go. There's the Perseus.
Perseus, Vanguard.
Alright, so in the mission, the Boron mission, the High Road, And once you set this to active, it will generate a combat scene in Sanctuary of Darkness.
Entering system. Sanctuary of Darkness.
Take that, you forcibly animated, yet hitherto faceless antagonists. Covering fire for the firebrand, everyone. Azure and Lilac Fifth, delay the aggressors. Your carrier shall arrive shortly, and with due haste. I do not think this has taken more than superficial damage. Engaging should not have done that.
Walrus.
Construction site is cleared of hostiles, Commander. You may applaud as you feel appropriate, Tinfinger. Outstanding work, Finn leaders. I expected no less. Please direct your subordinates to dock for debriefing,
Right.
maintenance, and of course, refreshments.
So as you can see here, we've got a walrus and the Menelaus reminiscence.
Menelaus Reminiscence.
Yeah, that. Which is an extra large carrier. And they're not kidding. It is big. This is very unorthodox. This isn't how the mission is meant to be done, but I thought it would be fun just to try it and take the high road not taken, you know? Yeah, so what you do is you have to dock with the carrier. No, let's make the mission active. And I was wrong about setting it to active. It turns out all you have to do is accept the mission to turn that into a cutscene the first time you enter that area. So now that I set it active, you can see that it is telling me to dock. And since I can't dock in the Sin, I just hop in the Perseus and do it that way.
Perseus. Vanguard.
Oh, also, you have to make sure that the Sin doesn't have any existing orders, like fly and wait. So let's get rid of that. Hold position, that's good. This is going to be cool. Just a bit unorthodox.
Nav beacon. Menelaus Reminiscence.
There we go.
Queen Polyphides and the Queendom of Boron bid you a peaceful welcome aboard. Oh my, it is you! How favorable and fortuitous that our paths should cross again. Please do approach me on the bridge, I insist. Come in, come in. I hope your journey to our ancient homeland was sprinkled with success. As you may have keenly registered, my position has somewhat evolved since we last had the pleasure of meeting. While I await the summons of Her Majesty's Royal Council for redevelopment of the former provinces adrift, I have pledged myself to this intrepid defense mission.
Defense of what?
Nothing less than the construction of an advanced, state-of-the-art cross-sector highway. Preparations began as soon as the connection to Kingdom End was established, and most of the resource shipments have already arrived. Once our mission is complete, Boron ships will once again traverse safely between all known sectors of the Queendom without disturbing the local inhabitants. If only these inhabitants had received as thorough a briefing by the Queen herself as I have on this matter.
Yeah, I don't think the Cuck need a briefing. You can just wipe them out.
Hello there.
Indeed.
Hello.
As you had the pleasure of witnessing mere moments ago, the Ka'ak refused to acknowledge the merits of this undertaking.
No kidding.
Precisely as I warned, when this gruesome and dreary sector's rehabilitation was first presented to me. We intrude upon their dark sanctuary, and naturally they seek to divest themselves of our presence.
If anyone knows what these icons above their heads mean, let me know, because I've always been curious. Like, this one has a box. I've never seen that one before. What are you planning?
Thanks to their unique warp technology, Ka'ak ship clusters continue to harry our construction ships. Even if these do little damage to our operation, they keep us perpetually on edge, unable to discern our opponent's grand strategy. Consequently, there can only be one response, even if
Kill 'em.
it pains me to go against my deepest boron instincts. We shall sally forth. By
Okay.
taking a forward position, we may gain valuable intelligence and divert Ka'ak attention away from our construction site.
What can I do to help?
Tragically, we have recently recorded unacceptable losses, hence the invitation to any spirited pilots in the general vicinity. Of course, you far exceed the required qualification, yet nevertheless, I would be honored and grateful to take you temporarily into the employ of Her Majesty's Expeditionary Flotilla. You may choose between one of our two most renowned flight leaders and fly a well-equipped military ship for the duration of this mission, unless you prefer to risk your own ship, of course.
I'll be doing that.
Once you are settled, we shall embark, like a school of Nishalan mud wranglers on the first day of swelter season.
Who are the flight leaders?
They are Tinfiga and Hukabo. At first I had reason to question their compatibility, but this recent engagement has rapidly evaporated such worries. Royal Warden Hukabo leads Lilac Finn, a flight of corvettes sent to our aid from Kingdom End itself. I do not know him well, but it is apparent that he brings a thrilling ferocity rarely seen among our kind. Tinfiga, on the other appendage, has defended the provinces adrift for longer than I served as royal steward. Despite her mannerisms, she leads our gunboats with a cool stoicism. I can also personally attest to her unswerving loyalty and commitment to our people.
Yeah, these two are pretty fun because they have a good dynamic. So you got one of the Boron is from Kingdom End and one is from the provinces, and they really don't see eye to eye. Their style is very different. It's cool. It's good writing for a game like this.
Splendid. I expected no less. Since it appears that we will not have the pleasure of further reinforcements at this time, I shall commence preparations for our embarkation post-haste. We shall
You do
speak
that.
again once you have conferred with Tinfiga and Hugabo.
States are not perambulatory enough.
By the Queen, it would require the presence of a La to converse with you in this emotional state.
Really? Then why do you not go and fetch one?
Ha! You know full well that the only La on this ship is currently preoccupied ensuring the triumph of this mission.
Comrade, it appears that we have a visitor. Just as you were calming my emotional state.
Yes. What is it you require? Evidently, it was wise to rely on Leda Wee to send me a suitably pugnacious replacement. You see, one of my most experienced pilots was struck down with space sickness and is confined for the time being to an aqua chamber. Consequently, there remains a fully operational corvette anchored within the hold of the Menelaus Reminiscence. If you promise to treat this honorable ship with the respect she is due, she shall be yours until we have concluded our mission.
Was there a disagreement?
Nonsense. Nothing of the sort. I am merely unaccustomed to the lack of pheromonic communication, and these incapacious suits make nothing easier. My comrade in arms, who is yet to experience the splendor of Nishala's oceans, exploits her advantage brazenly and mischievously. It is evident that for the duration of our joint undertaking, it falls to me to teach this backwater boron the manners pertinent to her position.
How do you operate?
We are Her Majesty's Lilac Fin, armed to the trunk, the froth of the froth. Though traditional boron conduct stipulates prudence and caution, our corvettes proceed boldly to quash any perils before they grow rampant. And as you have no doubt observed, a good smack on the appendage makes these Ka'ak retreat like any other foe.
Give me a moment.
Very well, but do not keep me waiting.
Hello. Reporting
Would
for
you
duty.
look at that? Fresh meat for the fleet. As luck would have it, one of my pilots has requested a discharge to join his relatives in Atreus clouds. If you are willing to take his place, there is a well-equipped and only slightly battered gunboat waiting for you in the carrier's internal storage.
Does this room look Argon?
A keen observation. The Queendom of Boron and the Argon Federation worked closely together in preparation for the Dark. Turrets, military doctrine, efficient subdivision of aerated interiors, uncomfortable chairs. If you pay attention, you can see their influence everywhere.
That explains why the interior of the boron ships has air instead of water in certain sections. So presumably there's the vast majority of the ship that's water, and they just swim around in it, and they just come out in here to talk to us humans or whatever. How do you operate?
Gunboats are built to provide fire support. So that is exactly what we do. Corvettes and heavy fighters may bring the battle to a close, but our turrets dictate its flow. How does that sound? Want to join?
Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. I'll show you turrets. I will join you.
Terrific. Welcome to the team.
Retrieve your ship from internal storage.
Tin Figa has just confirmed the transferal of your, bucket. To retrieve your ship, I suggest you peruse one of the ship consoles next to our M-class docking pads, though I would never prevent you from reverting to your own vessel instead, should you so desire.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. So you can see here how you would normally do this is you would go to the console and you'd say request ship from internal storage and then grab the thresher. But that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to head back to the elevator, go to a different dock, and you'll see that there's a whole bunch of fighters that are lined up on this dock ready for the fight. And all you got to do is go to one of these consoles and request ship from internal storage and pick your ship. The reason you have to do this is because in order to begin the mission...
I see you have engaged the lift. Observe how your ship rises majestically from the depths.
You see how it says to undock?
Fin leader Tin Figa. May I
Perseus, Vanguard.
All ships ready for action, Commander. Well, almost.
Hello.
So you see how I'm supposed to undock, and that's triggering the next phase of the mission? You can't do this if you're on the Sin, so that's the purpose of the fighter, is to help trigger these next things.
Pilot, we still need someone to hug the carrier, in case the Ka-Ak tries something. Park your ship close to the turret that I have marked on your heads-up display.
Fleet, we are commencing our highway tunnel patrol. May I cordially invite you to stay on high alert since we expect a measure of Ka-Ak harassment.
Now, this is the part where the mission is underway, and all you have to do is wait for the carrier to get to its destination. Now, ordinarily, you'd be in one of those corvettes or gunboats, and you just have to either stay parked or risk death, because there's quite a lot of cock, and they are more than capable of blowing up your little corvette. I have to get my ass to the Sin as fast as possible before the cock show up, because they're even more capable of blowing my ass out of the sky.
Notice how the carrier seems to drag you along when you are close enough? Convenient, is it not? It allows you to rotate your ship freely, so that your turrets can face approaching enemies.
Sin, docking granted.
And once you've docked, you can just teleport in. Try to take command as quick as possible. Then, our mission now is to protect the carrier.
Menelaus Reminiscence.
That was just to get the targeting reticle centered, because for some reason it follows the mouse by default. So you see those 3 dots in the center of my screen right here. Those are the firing positions of my main weapons. It also happens to be the direction I am flying. And throughout this mission, what I'm going to do is use those to tell which direction I'm going, because I'm going to be in an external view like this. Make sure your ship is visible, because if you do that, you can't see yourself. Here we go.
As expected, they are diverting a portion of their forces to investigate our movements.
Now, the next thing you have to make sure that you do is you have to make sure all of the turrets are on attack all enemies, because there's not going to be any missiles and there's not going to be any capital ships. It's all the same kind of enemy. So just put all of them on attack all enemies. At this point, I'm just going to take a look at the situation. It looks like I'm right alongside the carrier, slightly behind it, and you can see that even in this view, these 3 dots are visible. So I can steer my ship while I'm in this view, and it will change the position of those dots so that I can make sure that I'm still flying in the direction that the carrier is flying. And that's really the only thing that I need to worry about during this whole thing. I'm not going to worry about the enemy. The turrets will take care of them. What's really astounding is the sheer size of this carrier. If you look at us next to each other, the Sin's a big ship, but look at this thing. That is a big ship. Wow. It takes me a few seconds to charge up my travel drive. We'll do that now. And once it charges up, I pull way ahead of the carrier. And then I'll just bring it to a stop. Right about here. Because I don't want to get too far ahead. I still want to go in the same direction. And the reason I have to use travel mode every once in a while is because the carrier is faster than the Sin. But I turn faster, so it's not that
Queen's
difficult.
Guard.
Alright, let's have a look at this Queen's Guard and entourage here. Fair number of cock ships.
Danger.
Looks like he's finally targeted me.
Imagine how swiftly our ship will
There we are. Main difficulty is actually due to the fog, because it makes it difficult to see anything at a distance. If I zoom out to get a better picture of things, I really don't have a better picture of things. This is so cool. Very, very fun. Just as a different way of doing the mission. Rather than just hiding in the docking bay.
twist my flippers. I wonder if I would be this reckless if I had a jump drive like them.
Indeed. I would like...
Just correcting course here. So basically I can put my view right behind the carrier, and it's 5 enormous engines, and just kind of adjust my aim, my heading, to make sure that we are all heading in the same direction. This isn't the difficult part of the mission anyway yet. That's coming later. the part that always wipes me out. I've died so many times. When you reach the rendezvous point, and there's about 200 cockships that are waiting for you, and they just swarm in and they just massacre you. That's not going to happen this time. It will be a massacre, though. Alright, now the carrier is changing direction. You can see. So I got to do the same thing. Just trying to guess here which direction it's going to end up pointing. See, the Sin is way more maneuverable than the carrier. Thankfully. Now if I pause here and look at the map, you can see that we started pretty much here and have left a trail of cock wreckage all the way over to where we currently are. And where we're going is right around here, I think. That's the end of part 1. We're halfway done. Next episode, we'll finish it off. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you next time.